What is... What the heck is going on here? I am now going to have a serious blast of information here. Excuse me, I have seen... And why did we stop broadcasting? Welcome to the story we're doing. Why, oh why, oh why? Excuse me, I'm gonna have to play a little, just bear with me for a second here while I try and sort this out, will you? Okay, welcome back. For those of you who are staying with me, well, that was interesting. As an old first responder, medical first responder, I do get calls every once in a while, and that was a neighbor, elderly neighbor of mine that she's 97 years old and a sweet soul, and her daughter's over, and they're kind of she fell, and I had to go help put things right, as it were. How's that? Anyway, welcome back. Sorry for the delay. I have no clue what happened here. And I will have to, no, it's not your problem, but something happened and we went off the air. And I am going to have a little discussion with my providers. Anyway, on a happy note, we only got a half an hour left. So I'm going to jump right into the second hour here. On a happy note, and if any of you know me, I'm a pro-gun guy. You betcha. As the sign says, if you're over on the TV side, I'm a God-fearing, Bible-believing, gun-packing American patriot conservative. You betcha. That is what goes on here. Starbucks, a friend of the gun world, at least not one that folds to public pressure like Gander Mountain does. Back last year when Wisconsin was going through the growing stages of getting a CC, concealed carry permit system set up in the state that the governor finally signed, Governor Walker. Starbucks was a known gathering place for open carry gatherings for people who in the open carry movement. There's a strong open carry out in the wide open, strap one on, go somewhere, and it is what it is. Starbucks has always embraced gatherings. So corporate policy doesn't say, whoa, you can't have a 5 or 6. I mean, it used to be there'd be 5 or 10, maybe 15 people get together, have some coffee, buy some products, sit around and talk about what was going on in the concealed carry movement, open carry movement. And it was just a known place that you could gather. Anyway, so a press release came out yesterday that Starbucks will be opening 1,500 more cafes in the United States. You gotta love it when a company, and you know, in Wisconsin now we are also going through a how can I say this, a little bit of a post-election turmoil about whether or not to support or not support those who voted for the village idiot. Oh, who's that? One might say. Oh, him, this guy, the village idiot. Yeah, that's the guy. So, and we now have a Wisconsin conservative business page over on Facebook. And there is a concerted effort to support those businesses that people know and can feel comfortable. I know that I'm going to a place that has certain values, not values that stand with your hand out. It's nice to see a company like Starbucks who stands by their corporate beliefs, much like Chick-fil-A did a number of months back. Cliff Burrows, who heads up Starbucks' domestic business operations, said in an interview that the problem wasn't Starbucks was oversaturated, but the company hadn't been careful about its store openings. In the years leading up to the downturn, the company was opening well over 1,000 stores a year, which led to cafes and locations where signs or traffic might not be optimal. So anyways, sales at the new cafes are averaging about $1 million a year, and which is above by about 100 or 10% above what they had predicted when they opened up a store. And it costs about $450,000 to build a new cafe. So they're going to drop a lot of money into the American economy. And I know a lot of people, we don't have any up here, but we have a couple of small coffee shops that, because we're up at Lake Wish I Be Gone in far northern Wisconsin. And we don't get a whole lot of anything. It's the mainstream. But I'm happy here. So all you patriots that understand that Starbucks is in your corner at the moment, hopefully they will stay that way. I'm thinking that they will, but you just never know. Obviously, you support the companies that support the Second Amendment. And to date, at least in Wisconsin, Starbucks is that company. So, go have a coffee, a latte, get together and talk with your fellow pro-Second Amendment people. Speaking of Second Amendment, how could we do anything without talking about Costas? What a jackass. Is that a swear? I don't know. We'll throw a quarter in. We're feeling generous this Christmas season. Bob Costas had a interview on O'Reilly last night, and I caught it on the computer after the fact. And all I can say, I could go head over heels into this conversation. He's just a womanizing sportscaster. He's now, he's not backing down from his halftime comments about this, but he did say, which I thought to be the very alarming statement, is that, these conversations like these need to take place, and they will. That's what he said. Bobby boy, if you're listening, what I can say to you is Hank Williams Jr. and the Dixie Chicks. Maybe there's some handwriting on the wall that you didn't see. Bobby boy, you're just not all that. You can be replaced. You should be replaced, given the track record. And if you're not, you can sit and chuckle about Hank Williams Jr., Monday Night Football. But guess what happened to the Dixie Chicks? They still scratch their ass as they sit on the front porch wondering what the hell happened. You guys don't get it in the media. You make no qualms about it when you tune into my show. I'm going to give you exactly what I think. That's why I do the show. When I tune into Monday Night Football, I don't give a rat's ass what you think about gun control. I don't care what you think about what should be or should not be a rule in the NFL. You're not in the frickin' NFL to begin with. You're a paid voice. I hire you and fire you, guys just like you, all day, all week long. You're a paid voice. You're a pimpin' voice. And there's one just as good sitting right around the corner waiting to sit in your seat and shut their mouths on what their editorial conceptual plan would be for the NFL. It is not the platform by which you need to open your mouth or anybody else needs to open their mouth. You're entitled to your opinions, but they're yours. Keep them to yourself. I tune in to watch football, not listen to your trash. As far as I'm concerned, go to retirement, son. You're not that good. Absolutely useless. 90 seconds you took. A minute and a half. That's 3 30-second commercials. And how much does the network get for 3 30-second commercials? You're paid to be an announcer about football, stats, past week, current night performances, and you want to get on your soapbox and talk about gun control. The mentality of guns. Like I said, you are welcome to your beliefs. You can have them. Keep them to yourself. Unless I break bread with you, play around a golf with you, go fishing with you, go fishing, go camping with you. Those are the things that friends do, and they talk about things that they believe in during those activities. You are absolutely so far out of line that I truly, God bless your soul, hope that your career follows that of the Dixie Chicks. May America have enough cojones to actually make that happen. I guess I can't say it any plainer, any more straightforward than that. I don't really give a rat's ass what you think on this issue. And with that, you got Just Jim in the Morning. We'll be right back. WPEG.net, your local PEG programming content provider. We provide programming in public, education, and government programming for you, our listeners, a listener-supported station. Don't forget, support our underwriters, because they're the ones who care enough to bring you this program. At Hodag Gun and Loan, you'll find one of the largest selections of new and used guns in the Northwoods. Beretta, Ruger, and Springfield Armory, rifles, pistols, and black powder. At Hodag Gun and Loan, your gun and ammo needs are covered. We buy gold and jewelry too, and right now we're paying the highest prices in the Northwoods for your gold. Located at 915 Lincoln Street in
support our underwriters. After all, they're the ones that keep us bringing this program to you.
Do you need a safe and secure place to keep your personal property? Do you want 24-hour lit access to your mini warehouse? Do you want your own lock on your storage unit? Conveniently located at 1647 Menominee Drive in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing has exactly what you're looking for in short and long-term storage units. With nearly 200 storage units that provide safe and secure storage for your personal property, Cedarwood Mini Warehousing and Storage will meet all your storage needs with their short-term and long-term rental contracts. Storage units come in sizes from 4 to 6 foot to 12 by 16 for your large personal and household items. For a limited time, get 1 month free with a 6-month paid rental contract. Call 715-366-2260 today to see about availability and current monthly specials. From big to small, we store it all. Call 715-366-2260 today. Prices subject to availability.
WPEG.net Television Network is your PEG content provider in Wisconsin's Northwoods. Public, education, and government programming content is what we do. From city meetings to school board meetings and all points in between, you can count on WPEG.net to deliver the news of your elected officials to you. With WPEG's television network working for your community, you don't have to miss another government meeting or an important school board presentation. We deliver directly to your living room and computer. Tell your city officials that you want to know what they're doing. After all, that's why you elected them. Let your elected officials know that you want WPEG.net television network on your community cable television system today.
Call 715-490-2300 or 490-2303 and tell us what you think. Or you can send us an email at pegnews@wpeg.net. WPEG is a listener-supported
Are you ready
station.
All right, welcome back. That's our obligation to some advertisers, and I have a couple of quick comments here, or quick releases that I want to read off, and then I've got a kind of a thing I want to read. This weekend down in Oconomowoc at the Olympia Resort in just west of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, actually west of Waukesha, Saturday, December 8th from 11 to 3 p.m., the Northwoods Wisconsin Grassroots Leaders Meeting is going to be going on, and all are invited. If you're a patriot and you can make yourself get over there, feel free to. There was a $12.50 per person box lunch ordered with a pre registration, but I'm sure you can get in. The invited and some of the speakers that are carrying some of the sessions are American Majority, AFP, Wisconsin Family Coalition, Media Trackers, We're Watching, and the John K. MacGyver Institute. Grassroots leaders and additional members of your groups are invited to show up. This Kim Simak is running that out of the Northwoods Patriots. She'll be down there, I'm sure, either emceeing or at least kind of keeping things on track. She's got a lot scheduled on her plate for this Saturday, so I'm sure there won't be any dilly-dallying around, and it should be good. And I'm sure that there will be more coming up in the future. Again, down at the Olympia Village in Oconomowoc this Saturday. On a bounce back note that I got through here, Standard and Chartered is now expected to pay $330 million in U.S. fines. And if you remember, a few months back, we talked about these guys as one of the Lieber problems in Europe. They were involved in investigations in doing business with Iran, and they violated a lot of. It's used to me $340 million is what? Who gives a rat's patootie about that? That's just not even a slap on the hand. These guys, they filtered more money from Iran than you can shake a stick at. On the other side, Sheriff Jeff Hoffman released this notice. The Oneida County Sheriff's Department is sponsoring a Wisconsin DNR certified snowmobile safety course, which every junior needs to pass if they go out on the trails on their snowmobiles, which it's snowing here at Lake Wish I Be Gone, so it's possible the trails, I think, are opening up this Saturday. This is in conjunction with the New Tom Snow Fleas Snowmobile Club. It is Saturday, December 22nd and Sunday, December 23rd. Course times are from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on both days and will be held at the Sloan Community Center located at 7246 Main Street, Lake Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Anyone born after January 1st, 1985 and at least 12 years old must have a snowmobile safety certification to operate on public areas or trails. Let's see. Advanced registration is required. You can contact Deputy Brad Fogarty at the Oneida County Sheriff's Office at 715-361-5132. Students with special needs are asked to notify the department when registering and request special accommodations that may be required for participation. There you go, snowmobile clubs. And since we're after the hunting season, I'm assuming that there won't be any more hunter safety classes, but you can call the Sheriff's Department for Oneida, Lincoln, Vilas counties, and they should, or go onto the website, the Wisconsin DNR website, and they should be able to clue you in on that. And with that, I will talk. I'm actually going to read this, and I may run a little bit over, but I was, again, away from the camera and not broadcasting for a while. Here it is, right there. It's this is a copy of a guest opinion that was given to the Aspen Times out in Colorado by Juanita Williams, who was asked to write and provide an article, an op-ed. Regular columnist Melanie Stephanie is off this week, and Juanita is taking her place, and she's scheduled to return in 2 weeks. The United States, and I don't know what the op-ed request was, but this is what came out and was published. She's operated a business. I believe she was in the real estate business, and she currently is retired and lives in Parachute. The United States of America has a fascinating, exceptional history. It makes a fun read and gives her people much to be thankful for. Excuse me. Having undertaken for the glory of God and advancement of the Christian faith and honor of our king and country a voyage is the start of the first line of the Mayflower Compact. Kiddies, those are the boats that came over. The compact was signed by men known as separatists who fled religious persecution and possible imprisonment for rejecting the Anglican faith forced upon the English populace. It was to be the first governing document of the Plymouth colonies. Headed for Virginia, the ship blew off course, and the Pilgrims wound up establishing their colony at Cape Cod. On November 11, 1620, while still aboard the ship, 41 men signed this Mayflower Compact, which had important influence on our Constitution. In the absence of England's governance and regulations, the colonies thrived, grew, and prospered. England decided to tax the successful colonists, though the colonists had no representation in Parliament. And that oppression of taxation without representation led to the Boston Tea Party in December of 1773. That Tea Party led to the Revolutionary War, the establishment of the Continental Congress in 1775, and on July 4th, 1776, the approval of the Declaration of Independence. This famous line says it all for this awesome country. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our founding fathers were imperfect beings. They made mistakes. The Civil War helped correct one. They were exceptionally hardy and determined. They forged westward and expanded the idea of a republic, a government of the people, by the people, for the people. The meaning was that the government was run by the people, not the government itself, and the government was only in place to protect the people. We, the people, were to elect or hire officials, but we were to be the leaders, not them. Limited government was the expectation. The result was a country that became the world leader economically and militarily. The U.S. led the world in industrialization, inventions, and extraction of natural resources. U.S. citizens were free to practice whatever religion they preferred, speak out against their government, enjoy the freedoms of the press, peacefully assemble, and petition the government for redress of grievances. American citizens were free to move around the country and live wherever they wished. They were free to start a business and pursue happiness so long as no one was harmed. From the time that progressives entered the picture, there has been an attitude among them that Americans had too much freedom. The American population unwittingly bought ideas, the candidates for public office, that sounded humanitarian on the surface, but were designed to give the government more control over their lives and their incomes. This misguided idea of economic equality spurred insidious legislation taking the country, founded on liberty, to ever-increasing regulations and government strangleholds. So-called progressives, a euphemism for socialists, pressed the appointments of judges who shared their views. Originally, the states were taxed, but the federal government could not tax citizens directly. The states were sovereign. Significant change began in the 16th and 17th Amendments. The 16th Amendment allowed a disastrous income tax, and the 17th changed the way senators were elected. This, many believe, resulted in the states losing any real representation they had in the federal government, as well as the overextension of the powers of the federal government. Furthermore, special interest groups rushed to fill the vacuum previously occupied by the state legislatures as their powers became insignificant. Additionally, the establishment of the Federal Reserve has had disastrous consequences that few truly understand. Mostly what people hear is, what is wrong with America? But there was much that was right with America. The love and appreciation of their own freedoms, love of God and country, had encouraged U.S. citizens to be generous to others in need. America is usually the first and most generous country to respond to disasters or needs in other countries. America's citizens give more to charities and missionaries than citizens from any other country. Unfortunately, the greatest country in the world is imploding from within due to the lack of understanding of our beginning and our Constitution. Modern education has failed to create appreciation for the importance of the original amendments and the logic behind them. Nor were the Americans fully cognizant of the negative impact of some of the newer amendments they would have. In spite of our flaws, this still is the country that others flock to for opportunities unavailable to them in their own countries. We must have done something right. That is an op-ed by Juanita Williams, like I said, out of Aspen, Colorado. It was published in the Aspen Times, and I think it's an extremely well-written commentary on, I believe it was over Thanksgiving that this one went out. Yeah, right around the Thanksgiving time, November 22nd. Thanks, Juanita. I did enjoy reading it, for not the first time. I enjoyed reading it on the air and sharing it with our listeners. Touched on many of the things that we need to have addressed in our crazy. It's not a. Our country is the best country in the world still. And I still have faith in her people. I don't have faith in her politicians. I have faith in her people. To ultimately hold our elected officials figuratively to the fire in their fiduciary duties while in office. I can't say it any plainer than that, I guess. And with that, I would suggest that, as always, you learn something, you read about it, and then go motivate people. As a patriot, those are the predecessors to the words of Civil War. Learn something, read about it, become educated, and then go motivate. Truth is absolutely a deadly thing. And when you have a veil of secrecy cloaking your government from department to department to department, and I don't have the clip handy, but I recently went to something as simple as a local government tourism meeting, where an ad agency that is working without a contract gets a contract authorized with no requests for bids, blatantly says while we're recording the meeting, "Don't anybody leave. We have Christmas presents for everyone in the car outside after the meeting," while they ask to have a contract verified. These are the things that we, the people, need to become fully cognizant of in bringing and steering our country back to the principles of our founding fathers and the Constitution of America. This is so imperative. In your community, understand what's going on. Learn something. Go read about it. See if it's done correctly. And then motivate people to do it the way it's supposed to be done. Can't say it any plainer than that. That formula works. It's time immortal. Enough of this rhetoric, blah, blah, blah. And always verify your facts. Truth, knowledge is absolutely deadly. Can't argue with it. Get out to your local meetings. Figure out what's going on. Know your friends. Keep your enemies closer. You know, that's the old saying. Know your friends. Keep your enemies closer. Understand what the heck is going on. Until next week, I promise I'll be back on a regular schedule again here shortly. Though the holidays, the Christmas season, screw the holidays, the Christmas season is upon us. And we would like to have everyone be good to each other, because when the bitching is all said and done, it's all we got. We only have each other. May you have a good day, a good night, and an absolutely better tomorrow. Until next time, this is Just Jim in the Morning. WPEG.net, your dose of reality network.
You know, getting back to school, I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. And I used to, this is true. I work in the summer and I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher. He was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher. Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell. And he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester. And it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge. Dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, oh glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states, 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose, and that's love for country. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance, under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer, and that would be eliminated from schools too?
You're listening to WPEG, your PEG content provider.
WPEG.net television network is your PEG content provider in Wisconsin's North Woods. Public, education, and government.